There's a growing buzz around Hollis Hall, and for once, it's not about a quarterback controversy, head coaching disaster, or rebuilding phase. Instead, a national ranking from Pro Football Focus POF has set the tone for optimism. According to POF, the Chicago Bears have the fourth best offensive line in the entire NFL and the best in the NFC North. Yes, you read that right. A team long criticized for its porous protection and lackluster trench play is suddenly climbing into elite territory. For longtime Bears fans who've witnessed years of frustration watching quarterbacks hurried, running backs trapped behind the line of scrimmage, and offensive series collapse before they began, this is a dramatic shift. Puff placed Chicago ahead of divisional rivals like the Vikings ranked 7th, Lions 13th, and Packers 14th. But what does this ranking actually mean? And more importantly, is it truly justified? On paper, the potential is real. Anchored by standout right tackle Darnell Wright, a former top 10 pick who showed promise as a rookie, and newly acquired veteran Jonah Jackson, this line has raw strength, improving technique, and a blend of youth and experience. But while Puff's grade makes a bold statement, there are still crucial questions lingering. The most important? Who locks down the left tackle spot? That position remains unsettled, and for an offensive line to reach top-tier status, consistency at both ends is vital. There's also curiosity about how quickly the unit can develop cohesion. Offensive line chemistry isn't built overnight. As Ben Johnson once pointed out, the best units, like Philadelphia's or Detroit's former dominant line, develop through continuity. Even a minor rotation in one position can disrupt the synergy of the group. In Chicago's case, if this line gels quickly, especially under the leadership of offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, the Bears might just have a unit capable of protecting rookie QB Caleb Williams and opening up the run game for Khalil Herbert and Roshan Johnson. But if they struggle early, especially against the NFL's relentless edge rushers, the dreams of a top 5 line could fade fast. For now, consider this offensive line a top 10 candidate with top 5 upside. A promising structure, a stronger supporting cast, and improved scheme design give reason for hope. But optimism must be grounded in performance, and the Bears must prove it on the field, starting in training camp. Beyond the offensive line, there are critical position battles and strategic decisions the Bears must address as the season approaches. And fans are raising the right questions. Will Chicago target a star running back in 2026? The 2025 season hasn't even kicked off, but fans are already speculating about the next draft class. One name making waves: Jeremiah Love, the dynamic Notre Dame back. With the Bears already showing interest in top college running backs like Ashton Genty in 2025, Love could be on their radar in 2026. If he lives up to expectations, he offers the complete package, a three-down back who can run between the tackles and catch out of the backfield. Love fits the profile of a modern NFL back, and given how vital the run game will be to support Caleb Williams, adding another versatile weapon could elevate the offense. For now, though, all eyes are on Herbert, Johnson, and Donta Foreman, who will be fighting for reps in a competitive backfield. Edge rusher market. Will Ryan Poles make a move? Another major storyline surrounds the edge rusher spot. While Montez Sweat anchors one side, the depth behind him remains uncertain. GM Ryan Poles has a history of making smart late summer acquisitions, from signing Riley Reef before the 2022 season to adding Yannick Ngakoue in 2023. Names like Za'Darius Smith and Jadeveon Clowney remain on the market, and some insiders believe the Bears could pounce on a value deal in August. Poles may also look at trade opportunities if a suitable veteran becomes available. Expect one or two signings before week 1, particularly at edge or safety, where the Bears still have depth concerns. Before we continue, if you're a true Chicago Bears supporter, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss out on major Bears updates, insider news, and weekly game breakdowns. Now, let's get back to the action. Quarterback depth. Keenum versus Bagent. The battle behind Caleb Williams might not grab national headlines, but it could shape the team's future. Case Keenum, the grizzled veteran, was brought in to provide stability, but Tyson Bagent, the fan favorite who filled in admirably for Justin Fields in 2023, isn't going down without a fight. If Keenum earns the backup job, it likely spells the end for Bajent in Chicago after 2025. But if Bajent can prove he's still a dependable no. 2. The Bears could opt to extend him and groom him as a long-term backup. This decision isn't just about 2025, it's about roster construction, cap flexibility, and the team's long-term development philosophy. The Bears aren't just rebuilding, they're recalibrating and positioning themselves to compete seriously in the NFC North. Let's break down the final key developments. Could the Bears make a midseason trade? Trade chatter is already simmering. One fan theory involves Alvin Kamara potentially being dealt from New Orleans if the Saints spiral. Another scenario sees the Colts parting ways with Jonathan Taylor, especially if things don't go well in Indianapolis. The Bears have proven they're not afraid of midseason deals. Just last year, they made headlines trading for Montez Sweat. With ample cap space and draft flexibility, expect GM Ryan Poles to monitor the market closely. If an opportunity arises to land a high-impact player, particularly on defense or at running back, don't be surprised if Chicago pulls the trigger. What's the future of Tyson Bagent? If Bagent doesn't win the number 2 spot this year, his days in Chicago might be numbered. He's flashed enough ability to draw interest as a backup elsewhere. A fair market value for him might land in the $5 minus $7 million range annually, depending on his preseason and in-season performances. Regardless of what happens, Bagent deserves credit for his journey. Going 2-2 as an undrafted rookie starter is no small feat. Will the Bears pay top dollar for another edge rusher? One fan raised the question, would the Bears pay $11 million for Zadarius Smith on a one-year deal? The answer, highly unlikely. At this point in the offseason, teams are no longer shelling out big contracts. A more realistic figure would be $6 minus $8 million, possibly with performance incentives. In 2023, the Bears spent $10 million on Yakaway, and that didn't quite pay off. Poles is expected to be more conservative this year. Still, Smith remains a name to watch. If no other team meets his asking price, the Bears could strike late in camp, especially if younger players like Austin Booker or Dominique Robinson don't flash in preseason action. The Bears are closer than they've been in years to becoming a complete football team. A retooled offensive line, a star quarterback prospect, and young defensive talent give fans a reason to believe. But championships aren't built on hope, they're built on execution. If this offensive line plays up to its potential, if Caleb Williams lives up to the hype, and if Ryan Poles makes smart roster moves between now and the trade deadline, then yes, the Bears could be back in the playoff conversation. Until then, fans will continue to scrutinize every training camp battle, every preseason snap, and every front office move. And they should. Because in Chicago, expectations are rising, and the standard is starting to change.